Hello, my divine, infinite human beings. You're all that is, ever has been, and ever shall be. And greetings to the Infinite Human Talk Show. I'm your host, Elizabeth Monroy, and I am coming to you after the Lionsgate of 2025. And if you're part of the first wave, you probably have been through hell and back because no stone has been left unturned, untouched, unseen. It has gone deep within the very fabric of your creation, beyond your cells and into your energetic template, and just removed and forced out all the lower frequencies of all your lives. Okay, so even if you didn't have that much trauma or struggle in this life, but everything is in this life too, but it might just be small. But everything from all your alternative identities, all your past lives have come up for you to examine, for you to process, for you to feel and heal it. And it has been intense for everyone. I mean, if you're doing the work, if you're not just vegging out, and even drugs and alcohol is not working anymore because it reaches in so deeply. And I also believe that we who are doing this, the vanguard, the pioneers, the first wave, we are doing it for the collective. So it's a lot more difficult because we're just taking all these raw emotions, and this has been a fear-based planet. So we have had to process and transmute and alchemize a lot of this fear. It's been coming out of everywhere, out of the grids. It's been coming out of the human collective, and it's just in the air, so to speak, in the ethers. So many of us have been, I hear you've been feeling fearful, anxious, nervous, and a lot of energy. The energy has been so massive. If you look at the Schumann resonance, if you look at the solar flares, I mean, one right after the other. So this is all a good thing. I mean, so yeah, right. But and we're in the integration phase route. Yesterday was 22, so it was a cutoff, and now it's just kind of like letting all that energy. You may be feeling tireder now, or for many of us, I know I've been feeling relaxed finally, like, oh my God, I made it through it. I'm alive. I'm still alive, because it just reached in deep, and you had to face your shadows. You had to face everything that's been stuffed down, that's been forgotten about, that's been pushed to the side. All of that has come out into the light to be integrated, to be processed, to be felt. I know I spent some days just feeling all day long. And so now it's the integration phase where we're going to use all this beautiful energy to rewrite our life story. We're leaving behind the old finite stories, the confining stories, all the stories that have bound you to the prison matrix. I went to one of these Catholic ceremonies the other night. They have them all the time. And, just the whole like religions, how they've just totally desecrated, the eternal divine mother and the true divine father, and misled us and created all kinds of false scenarios of saviors and things like that. Going through, especially the women, of the really raw deal that we have been handed down to keep us down, to keep us shut up, to keep us entrapped, to keep us away from our power. And there has been so much trauma that has been done to us. And I did a lot of work with the womb, because that womb has so many emotions in it, and there's so much garbage that has been placed in our wombs, just the whole idea of sex and, the sexual alchemy, the power of orgasm, the power of creation that you hold in your womb. And it's been so disrespected and desecrated. And what happens is we all inherit all that. We inherit it from our mothers lineage, and from all our alternative identities. Everyone that's entered that sacred space. And, so there's a lot to clear out in that area. And there's, of course, a lot of mother wounds and things like that. So I've been busy processing this and also creating courses to help people move through this as I do it, because, I've been getting guidance, and I think it's so supportive if you can come together. I've been running a course during this time with some wonderful women about rewriting their story, and what a time to do it, because we've been using the workbook that I created, and I've got it now online, and it's 167 pages of questions. So it's not about having anyone, a spiritual teacher, tell you what to do. It's all about self-discovery, and it's setting up in sacred cyberspace a beautiful self-paced, do it at your own, leisure way of looking and digesting and processing and feeling and alchemizing these shadows so that they can become your strengths. Because the one thing about shadows is that they're really your strengths turned upside down, flipped around. So it's time to flip that script. And this is the time to do it. As we move into September, you want to be putting one foot in front of the other, solidly on a whole new path, new timeline, in sync with the Krystala spiral of life. And now with this failsafe that's kicked in, and we've also had the Metatronic seed vaporized. So that means you are, and humanity as a whole is going to start waking up more and more. And they're going to need you, and they're going to need us. But the overlays that have kept us, our bodies caught up in the 666 beastie bodies, the carbon-based bodies, are dissolving and allowing this beautiful rainbow plasma energy, the codes from the sun, the Crystal River fail-safe host coming in, and the Nomi seed from the center of the earth is all just upgrading our plasma bodies that are then restoring and repairing our light bodies, and on to eventually to our physical bodies. So we're going to start looking younger. We're going to start having more energy. We're going to start having more subtle, flexible bodies. And a lot of people have been, I know myself, eating less. I still somehow find sugar, but just not able to eat is heavy, because the energies are just so high. So your body is becoming lighter, and it's not requiring so much heaviness to sustain it, because it's no longer a carbon-based body. It's leaving that behind. So it's an exciting time to be alive, and a very challenging one. So something you really need to be mindful of. You need to be in the now moment, making very moment to moment, stay in the moment, because if you start to, go in the past, you'll be dragged back to the old, Metatronic Fibonacci timelines of 3D Earth. You don't want to go there. If you have trauma, if you have, sadness, sorrow, whatever, then you need to feel it to a point and then let it go. Okay. Don't hold on to it. That's why you're processing it right now. That's why the feelings are coming up right now. That's why you're going, well, I thought I got over that 20 years ago, and it's coming up. So it will not get in your path as you start placing one foot in front of the other on this new timeline, this new path, on your new story, the story of you as an infinite human being. And then you can start remembering your soul mission, why you came here, What's your passion? What brings you joy? How do you follow your bliss? And that will help you to evolve, not just physically, but emotionally. You're evolving emotionally, mentally, changing your thought patterns, spiritually, becoming, a Christ being, building your plasma and your Christ of light body. Then financially, because you'll begin to know what true abundance is, true abundance. And that abundance will build as you find your soul tribe, as you evolve socially and find the people you were meant to find, and you are meant to create projects and create a new earth together. So it's a wonderful time, and you have, okay? There's little, I just want to tell you, the ace in your pocket here is that as you place each foot firmly, more firmly on the Krystala spiral of life, as you just, in your journey, just lighten up, you're carrying this huge backpack, and you just like let go of anything that you don't need anymore along this pathway, and you become lighter and lighter and lighter. You're going to experience, and I'm sure many of you have heard of the Mandela Effect. Okay. So that's what I want to talk about today, the Mandela Effect, because things that used to exist no longer will. As soon as you, for example, let's say you were, guillotined, or you were hung, or you were burnt or stoned, or drowned, and you have all those memories and those traumas. As soon as you can feel through it and let that go and let that fear go, then you'll realize it didn't even happen. I know it sounds strange, but it's kind of like in I don't have I think I put on the cover the Monopoly Man. Many people I know he had a monocle, but now they say he doesn't have a monocle, or the Kit Kat bars, and or Sex in the City, Sex and the City. There's so many things where we're remembering it different, and it's different. If you look at the logos, it's different. So we're going, as we release those traumas, we're going to remember our true history. We're going to remember things different. And you may actually, it's really bizarre, but I've had a lot of people tell me about it. You may be driving past something and say, what happened to that building? There was a building there. And maybe other people will remember it, but it will just be gone. No demolition. It's just not there anymore. Okay. There are going to be things that are just boop, boop, out, leaving behind your reality, your holographic, because it's a hologram and you're creating it, so your holographic reality will not, and people, not that they'll probably, I don't know where they are, but there are people that will just disappear out of your life. Even when you reach out and try to pull them back in, it's like something will happen that just won't be connecting anymore. Okay. That's another thing. I mean, people, places, things, they're just going to be removed from your past path. And a lot of you have already experienced that. A lot of you have been going it alone for a very long time. And kudos to you. It's hard, but it's an important part of the journey. The hero's journey of breaking away from the ordinary world and stepping into the unknown. And you've been feeling alone, very alone, and I can relate to that. But this aloneness that you've been feeling is there to help you pierce the veil and to realize you're never alone. You are all one. And to go deeper and deeper into that oneness, that consciousness of oneness. And that's what's happening now. So interesting times, but if you've been through a lot, oh my gosh, I think somebody said, I never even looked for the comments. Oh, thank you. Missing you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, great. Great to hear you. So, yeah, if you've been having like a lot of challenges right now, you make a comment because, gosh, I know I have. But you know what? Today I'm finally back on because I feel so purged. It's like such a weight has been taken off of me. And I just feel, so much younger. And I can look at my face sometimes when I'm going through something and I look like I'm 150. And then I get through it and I'm like, oh, yes, that's so much lighter. So maybe you've been feeling that. And it's worth it. It's worth it. It's so hard. I know there's moments when you're in the darkest night of your soul and you just think, God, I'm so depressed. Nothing's ever going to change. This is awful. But it is changing. Incredibly horrible time at the moment. Truly, I'm wondering you will. Okay. That's why I wanted to get up here. And, it took me a while to get up here to be able to really put it out here with that certainty because I've had those moments and it's a horrible time, but it is like think that you're in like super duper, rinse mode in the laundry, or in the car wash. Shh. Everything's coming at you from the solar flares, from the Nomi seed in the planet, from everywhere the photonic belt we're in. It's so intense right now. We've been in the portal of Ceres, so the whole portal's opened up to really dump us, and it's just pushing us to the edge and pushing all the pain, all the sorrow, all the miasmas out to be healed. So yeah, and yeah, the medical system, and it's okay. I know. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I have to say that because this will be on YouTube. So I'm not a doctor, so I can't say that. But I'll just say for myself, and I know a lot of people. I had every single problem possible, and I thank God I live in Sicily. So the pharmacist is a friend of mine, and I'd show up and without a prescription, and I'd get this and that and this and that. Just because I don't trust the doctors here. I don't want to go to a doctor. I actually did have to go to a doctor though for my thyroid, just to remind me to take that medicine. I needed to. So if you do need some traditional medicine right now, try to choose wisely, try to do as much as yourself, get the opinion, but remember, you're always in charge of your temple. Okay. You make all the decisions, but whatever you need in this time period, it's very stressful. So if you need some herbs, or even if you need to go to something a little bit stronger, because it's going to pass. All right. You just want to get through it. You want to feel it. You want to move through it. And you can ask, you can say, okay, lighten up a little bit. Guys, I need it a little bit easier. Okay. And it will happen. So, but it's pushing you to the brink so you will let go. And the only thing you're letting go is all your dis-ease, your fears, your trauma. Because first, dis-ease in your body is an emotion. And I had everything. I mean, I'm just bladder infections, thyroid, TSH went out of the whack. Infections, bladder infections. This whole summer, it's been, because your body's finding a balance. Okay. It's not that, and we're taught to think, oh, I've got a problem. I'm sick. This is a bad. I have to take care of. I have to do this. I have to do this. Have to do this. Even I'll say cancer. Cancer is detoxing out of your body. So if you can let these plasmas come in and just they're going to purge it out and clean it out, and it will be a healing crisis when it's happening, but then it'll clear up. It's like one day I'm having this horrible crisis. I take a little pill and then go to sleep, and the next day I'm fine, and the next day it's something else. So I hope that helps you, because yes, okay, good. So yeah, let me just update you a little bit here. I have been totally taken off of Facebook. It's incredible. I mean, and I just took it. It was kind of upsetting because, I've had a lot of wonderful people that I've met in the physical too. A lot of people who've bought my book, and we've kept in touch, and I've come in to see them in different parts of the world. Cause when I traveled around, they all came to see me, and we had some wonderful, sacred circles. And I really, really missed that. And then even with YouTube, I had to move my talk show because my other channel had too many strikes, and I just hate always worried about what I'm going to say. Plus, I do think, you know, face a lot of the social media is just, blah, blah, blah. And I'll still be, at least I can still see it under Peter Monroy. So if you see me under Peter Monroy, but a lot of it is just putting stuff out there. And it's like you feel like you want to get it out there, or you get a message then that's helpful. But I think it's also a way of siphoning off our energy so that we feel like we did something, but we really didn't. We just kind of, and we're not really doing something, which, okay, is fine. But now that's all changed. Okay. We are now, as I mentioned before, we're the co-creators of the new earth. All right. It's time to shed all this stuff along the pathway, get rid of it, get your body up to speed, mind, spirit, and then your finances, and then connecting start connecting with one another. So what has happened to me, and believe me, this was not what I wanted. So I know I'm supposed to do it because, it's not, there's like intuition and there's intuition. So my wishing was, as I wrote in the last chapter of my book, to go travel around the planet. I've been looking everywhere to start new earth communities here in Sicily. I even put money down to buy land to create little, like earthship pods here in Sicily, in Yucatan and Mahawa, Malta. I went to look, been looking all over and actually put money down, but it all blew up in my face. And I realized why, because we're not ready to come together physically living in communities yet. I mean, what I wanted, and I stayed at one, but it all turned upside down in the Yucatan, but it was perfect except for the people. But it was in nature. It was away from the high 5 OG trees, by the ocean, and you could grow your own food, and people could come together for learning experiences and create art and projects and everything. But I realized, I was pulled back from that, big time, blew up in my face, and I was redirected towards the net. You say we're infinite, so don't stay in the net. But we're going to have to gather, like right now, those of you who are hearing my voice, you're hearing me because you're all over the world, as we're supposed to be, anchoring, holding in the frequencies wherever we are. But we need to start coming together and finding each other and co-creating together. So I've created, and I did it on a place called Mighty Networks. And I'm still trying to figure them out and talking to these AI bots. Oh my God. But I'm figuring it out. It's a huge challenge for me because I've been fighting it, but now I'm going to transmute it, because that's what we're going to do with AI. We're going to transmute it. We're going to put our energy into it, and we're going to transmute it, and it will serve us as it's supposed to. So what I've created there is a community that I've called Infinite Humans Co-Creating the New Earth. And it's a sacred cyber space for us, first of all, to come together in the loving, heart-based community that supports one another. Because like I said, we've all been going it alone for so long. This is the way you can come in when you want, you can leave when you want. It's not like you're living next to the person, you don't have to socialize with them, but you can find each other because, people are all over the world, and it really focuses on community, on creating relationships, which is what I like. Because in the Pathway Home, I wrote about spiritual teachers. I said that those times are gone, and I still see the old spiritual teacher I had and other spiritual groups I've been in, even cyber groups, and they're like, I'm the teacher and I'm telling you what to do. Well, that's what I loved about Mighty Network. It's like a circle. We all come together. We're all equals. We all do whatever we want. We connect, and we can work on projects. We can have events. I can bring people in. Now what I have done, which is what my talent and what I have to offer is I've created these incredible online courses to help with what's going on right now. And I'm doing one right now online with some amazing women, and it's based on my workbook, Rewriting Your Life Story to Its Heroic Journey. And it also involves like a lot of creative projects like mask making and drawing pictures and making, the film shorts if you want to, writing monologues, having one part, your dark side of yourself talk to your mentor side of yourself. It's a very creative way for you to clear out and to have fun with all these this dark night of the soul that we're going through, and it also helps you to focus on your body, what parts are diseased and how you want them to be, to make this shift, this quantum shift. So I have a course in that. I have a course which I've been working a lot on right now. I did something here in Sicily called, working with the divine mother wound, having to do not just with our physical mothers, but the absence of our divine eternal mother. And then something I've been working with, in fact, I even have a picture above me that I did as part of my healing, is the sacred womb healing. Okay. So, there's so much trauma in my asthma that our beautiful wombs, which are, the embodiment of our emotions and of our power, of our sacred, eternal, feminine power, have been so desecrated and so abused. And we have taken on the miasma of our mothers, and of every partner we've ever had in all our lives. So all that has to be cleared out. And then, of course, we're living in such a misogynist culture and dark patriotic 3D finite earth. So we've had to endure so much, and all that needs to be, cleaned out, So those are some of the courses that I will be offering. But if you want to join, it's free. And then, there will be events or different levels, we're going to move up once you get yourself cleared out. And my job is to help you get this all cleared out so you can be the highest version of yourself, your heroic, infinite self. And then we can have some fun. Then we can start working on your visions, on your soul mission, on why you came here, and on all the passions and all the talents and gifts you have to share with this planet. And then you get to start materializing your visions, start really actually understanding the downloads you're getting and the visions that you're seeing and putting them into reality. And then the final level is co-creators, where we come together and we align with those who have similar visions and missions, and we start doing projects. And a lot of this is going to be in the physical. So I'm just using the cyberspace to help people, to support them in their ascension and to connect with one another, to get them cleaned up so they're infinite, and then to get their visions and their soul missions, clear, and their gifts and talents and their abilities so they know what that is, and then to come together. And we'll be traveling all over the planet, working with the ley lines and, the grid systems and the Earth's template. We'll be going to sacred sites, like Malta and Sicily, and Ireland's been calling me, and the Yucatan and around the US. And we'll be meeting up in places. I'll be traveling around, and my goal is to create different hubs so we can have beautiful learning centers, and we can create conscious media. I want to really empower the creative expression of women through conscious media, so we can do projects and films and documentaries and performance art and all kinds of stuff. And also probably do some of that in Florence, Italy too, because I, had a school there for many years. So anyway, all these visions and plans are popping into my mind. I hope this is the time for you to turn inward and just kind of listen to what excites you. I know many of you may still be like in the health phase. I was there yesterday, so I can understand that. But, part of what can help you get out of that, and I say also do creative stuff like that. Artwork really helped me yesterday to just comfort my womb. She was really sad. So, just and I've just been painting and painting and painting because so much of for me painting, I did a lot with transformational art, really helps, or movement or dance or anything. So that's one of the things we'll introduce into these courses and into our experiences and events, both online and in the physical. So I'm really excited about that. And we'll have live sessions. I've been having live sessions every Sunday with the gals in the course, and they're fascinating because I like it because I create the space in the energetic, unconditional loving space, but then just allowing people to kind of purge and to let their emotions out and to share their stories. And it's just so healing when you can come together with that high frequency and that high intention. You walk away feeling really healed and recharged and connected. So that's the objective of this wonderful community that I see unfolding. I'll speak about it more, and I'll put on my website a link so you can just go in and join. And it's really cool. I mean, it's a lot like I'm old school, so Facebook was one of my favorite because you could just do so much there. And I used to even teach courses there, but forget that. You can't do that anymore. It's not about that. It's about watching you, keeping their eye on you. So, and when they don't like what you're doing, when you start building too much energy and quantum and people, they shut you down. So I'm not going to play that game anymore. So anyway, my website's infinitehuman.com, and like I said, I'm still learning this, but it's going to be pretty exciting. So you know what? Let me just end this with nice healing meditation to help you integrate these high frequencies and just kind of heal your body, your mind, your spirit. All right. So just settle down wherever you are. Okay. And if you're driving, don't close your eyes, but you can still kind of relax and just sink into your seat and take a nice deep breath, breathing in I am. And exhaling peace. Sorry, my throat's acting up. Breathing in I am. And exhaling love, love, love. And breathing in I am. And exhaling infinite, infinite, infinite. And just feel your neck and shoulders relaxing, your throat relaxing, your shoulders and your back and your arms, upper arms, lower arms, your fingers, and just move through your body and let your spine relax and settle in to the chair or the bed or the floor that is so lovingly supporting you. And just feel your buttocks sink deeper and deeper and deeper, and let your legs relax, thighs, your calves, and your feet and toes. Begin to slow your breathing down. Sorry, guys. Wow. And just let your body go. And begin to just feel like above your head opens a valve, like a toothpaste tube that's been opened up. And begin to feel this beautiful liquidy plasma, rainbow. It's clear, translucent, but with beautiful waves of all the colors in the rainbow. And it's just this beautiful plasma that just begins to fill your head, entering it like a tube of toothpaste. And as it does, it fills up your head, pushing out all the miasmas and overlays and metatronic reversals over your pineal, dissolving away your pineal cages and down into your throat, clearing away all the blockages that have been placed, the implants, and healing your thyroid gland in your throat and down, moving down your arms and clearing out the fascia in your neck and shoulders, especially, and feeling that liquid plasma rainbow swirling around inside it, pastel colors of the rainbow, moving into your breast area, clearing away any distortions in your holographic template, clearing away any miasmas throughout your breast and your chest, and moving into your heart space. Yes, your heart complex, and clearing out your Arias heart chakra, heart of Afema, and feel it all just pulsating as this beautiful rainbow plasma restores it, heals it, and purges all of the hurts, pains, sorrows that you had to endure lifetime after lifetime after lifetime from your heart. Feel it restoring your heart to a crystalline, pure Merkaba. And now feel those plasma energies continuing down, 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 down through your solar plexus, clearing away all the fear and anxiety into your sacral chakra and into your sacred womb, your womb space. And even if you're a male, you have a womb in some sense. A womb is where you hold emotions. A womb is where you hold your joy for life. Your womb is where you hold your creative expression. Your womb is where you hold your sexual joy and excitement and the power of creation. Your womb is a portal into other worlds. So let these beautiful rainbow liquid plasma clear out any of the distortions, implants, overlays, and sorrows, the pain, the trauma, the miasmas. Let it just clear it away, making your womb sing. Sing this eternal song of remembrance. And down into your yoni or your root chakra, clearing away the fears of survival, the fears of not being allowed to be. Just let that beautiful pastel rainbow swirls clear away, and letting you know you have the right to be here on earth. So let yourself ground your root chakra in deep, deep, deep into the center of the earth, into the rainbow Nomi seed. And pull up that energy to meet you in the sacred womb space as it swirls around, clearing and cleansing and realigning, recalibrating to the divine Krystala spiral of life. And now just let the plasmas flow down your legs, into your thighs, into your calves, into your feet, and feel your feet planted firmly on the ground. And a lot of throat chakra stuff going on with me. So thank you so much for joining me. That is your healing for this blessed time frame we're now in. And remember, this is your time now. You are inheriting the earth. You own this planet. You are holding the higher frequencies. You are holding the crystalline template of our planet. And you are now stepping into your infinite human shoes and beginning to co-create a new earth. Ciao for now. Thank you so much for joining me. Over and out.